ओम स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Welcome to the second video of the series. We shall be further discussing on the motives of an avatar or an incarnation of God. What are the motives through which I can identify an avatar? That is our theme of discussion today. So the second motive is self-proclamation. That is, an avatar shall declare that he is an avatar himself. And if you look at Gita, there are shlokas available on this. Sri Krishna was telling Arjuna that he was an incarnation, and Arjuna then replied like this: Ahustam Rishaya Sarve Devashri Naradastata Osito Devalo Vyaso Swayam Chaiva Prabhishini. All the rishis are saying that you are an avatar or an incarnation of God. And Devashi Narad, then Oshit, then Deval, then Vyasa, they all describe that you are an incarnation. But now you are saying yourself, and so my conviction has become firm. So this is the way the avatar declares himself. Otherwise you see, human beings cannot actually decipher an avatar unless he declares himself, he reveals himself to the human beings. I am taking one verse from Chaitanya Bhagavat. I'll tell the Bengali version part, then I'll translate. Kali Yuge Ami Krishna Ami Narayan Ami Shei Bhagavan Devaki Nandan. So the translation is like this: in Kali Yuga, that means the modern age, I am Narayana. I am that God, the son of Devaki, that is Sri Krishna. So Sri Chaitanya is telling, I was Rama, I was also Krishna in the previous incarnation. Another verse is there in Chaitanya Bhagavat. Mui Kali Yuge Krishna, Mui Narayan, Mui Rama Rupe Koinu, Sagara Bandhan. In this modern age, I am Krishna and I am Narayana. As in the form of Rama, I made the bridge between the Lanka and India, and I was Rama at that time. So the avatar declares himself, and that is the actual important motive of an avatar. Sri Ramakrishna, what did he say? And before that, how the avatar knows about the previous lives? It is called Jati Smaratva. A person gains this power of Jati Smaratva when he attains Samadhi. So in that case, he remembers all his past lives, all the activities of the past lives, etc. Now Sri Ramakrishna said like this in a book, Juganaya Vivekananda, Bengali, English version is also there. That who was Rama, that who was Krishna, that one is embodied in this frame as Ramakrishna. So he categorically said, this is not only once he said many times, countless number of times, but to his own close disciples only, not to external world, not in the public. Swami Swadananda, in his book Sri Ramakrishna Lila Prasanga, mentions like this: Thakur, that is Ramakrishna, had firm belief that that one who incarnated as Ramachandra, Sri Krishna and Gauranga, that is Sri Chaitanya, in previous ages, that one has descended down in this earth through this body. So this is the declaration of Sri Ramakrishna, and he told it several times to his disciples. The first one, this one we mentioned in the book Juganaya Vivekananda. is the time when he was at the deathbed, before maybe 2-3 days before his final departure from earth. Narendranath was sitting side by him. They all were serving him day and night. So a thought came in the mind of Narendranath. This man who is this kind of dilapidated condition due to disease, just bone and skin, and he says himself to Avatar, can he say it like this in this time? And as a thunderbolt came the answer from Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda did not utter it, he was simply thinking in mind, and Sri Ramakrishna could catch his mind and said this word. That who was Rama, that who was Krishna, that one is embodied in this frame as Ramakrishna. So Narendranath was in tears because speaking was almost forbidden for Sri Ramakrishna. While speaking, the blood came out of the cancerous throat. So that he has disturbed Sri Ramakrishna in this deathbed, that thought did anguish in the mind of Narendranath, and he was in tears. Now let us come to third motive. It is the renunciation. Avatara is a embodiment of renunciation. Without renunciation, you cannot go to spiritual life, because Avatara comes to throw spiritual light in the life of people. So he himself is an embodiment of renunciation. Now renunciation, when did it come? In the Vedic age, which was about 10 to 12,000 years of, or even more perhaps. So at that time, in the beginning, the people were worshipping God, sacrifice, etc., performing sacrifices, yajnas, for the purpose of fulfilling their desire. So those were at one time, and those were called karmakandas. But gradually they looked inward, and those desires vanished, and they found the truth which are written in the Upanishads. So at the age of Upanishad, people learned that it is the shaking of the desires or renunciation which can make you spiritual. It was declared in Upanishad, only through renunciation you can get the immortality. Renunciation is found in the life of Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya, and obviously Sri Ramakrishna. Ramachandra, just after the coronation, had to leave the kingdom and had to go in exile in the forest, and then fight with Ravana, etc. After coming back again, he had to expel Sita from the kingdom for the satisfaction of the subjects of his kingdom. That is what it is said. So he had no time to enjoy his life. Though king, he only had one wife, Sita. So the whole life is for the example of the world. He was the best king. His subjects were the most happiest people in the world, and still today we call the best ruling as Ramarajya. Sri Krishna, though was a son of a king, had to pass his childhood life in the house of a milkman. So it was very simple life, simple food, simple etiquettes, everything. And as he grew, became adult, he had to establish dharma, he had to establish the virtues. There were many fights in which he was involved directly or indirectly, but at the end he did never become a king anywhere. And his life is the purest life as described in the Gita. The Gita gives you the motives of Avatara, or even Sthitapragya, whose mind is established, whose life is established in truth. So all the motives that you find in Gita were the embodiment in Sri Krishna. So it was a complete renunciated life. Sri Chaitanya, he married in the beginning, but he knew that he was an avatar and had to serve the world. So he left home, leaving behind his most beautiful wife, most subordinate wife, most spiritual wife, a wife who was fully dedicated to the husband. And then he became a sannyasi, and rest of his life he spent after God and after the upliftment of common people. His mantra was, take the name of God, make kirtan, and make sadhu sangha, that is accompaniment of good people. Then what was with Ramakrishna? Burning renunciation. Ramakrishna, Srimad Sharada Devi said, the main motive of Sri Ramakrishna's life was renunciation, tyaga. Sri Ramakrishna himself used to say, if you utter Gita 10 times, then it reverses, it becomes Tagi. That means renunciation. So according to Sri Ramakrishna, the core idea, the core teachings of Gita is renunciation. So his life was full of renunciation. He could not touch metallic objects. He could not touch coin. He could not accumulate any wealth, whatever small it is, maybe a piece of even a fruit. He could not accumulate it. He was married but never consummated in the marriage. He was a sannyasin also. He had formally taken the vow of sannyasin from his guru Tutapuri. So he was the full embodiment of renunciation. Swami Vivekananda in his hymn said he was Tyageshwar, the master of renunciation. Sri Ramakrishna's one great teaching is this: the aim of human life is seeing God, or you can say realization God. So aim of human life is not earthliness, not enjoyment, not just running after the worldly matters, but the aim set from the beginning of life or even before the life is started is seeing the God, attaining God. Now, fourth motive of an avatara is easy access to ecstasy and samadhi. Ecstasy is called bhava, and after that samadhi. In bhava, one is almost detached from the world, but some links still there, the body functions. But in samadhi, he is completely detached from the world and the body stops functioning. All the organs of the body stop functioning. Only he floats in the ecstasy of Brahman. So, Ramachandra and Sri Krishna, this samadhi etc. is not described in the scriptures, in the books, not that much described, because their lives were in slightly in a different direction. Sri Ramachandra had to establish the rule of the virtue in the world. Sri Krishna has to subjugate all the adharmas, had to kill the dushkitam, the evildoers, and establish rule of goodness in the world. So certainly they would have samadhi, but not described typically in the scriptures. Chaitanya Dev is of course described highly. He is much recent, about 500 years back. So he had 3 states of mind in the second part of his life. What are the 3 states? Bahya Dasha, Antardasha and Samadhi. In Bahya Dasha, he could speak with his disciples, he could make kirtans, chant names of God, etc. In Antardasha, he was almost detached from the world. Though still some activities are found in the body. And in Samadhi, as I have described, it is completely detached from the world. So Sri Chaitanya had to pass his second half of life almost in Samadhi and Bhava. Once he went to a nearby sea in Puri and he saw Sri Krishna in the water. He jumped in the water and lost to Samadhi. He could not come out. Some fishermen found him in the net and dragged him out, and then after that he regained consciousness. So that was the state. Sri Ramakrishna, his existence, whole existence revolved around Samadhi. He used to apply force so that he can come down from Samadhi state and speak with his co-people, his disciples, etc. But mind, even by hearing a name of God, hearing a devotional song, even seeing Narendranath coming, he went to ecstasy. So ecstasy were day and night, now and then, and infinite numbers. Nobody could count it. So his real tendency was towards the Brahman in Samadhi, but for the sake of world he is to come down his mind downward, take his mind downward, come to the world level and speak with people. Now let us come to the fifth motive, consistency with reasons and scientific mentality. Avatar will not say something which is fictitious, which is fabulous, which is imaginary. No. So supernatural things are almost absent. In Sri Ramchandra it is almost not heard, apart from killing some Rakshasas with superhuman-like strength. Some descriptions of supernatural things about baby Krishna is available, like killing of Putana Rakshasi and others. But adult life after boyhood was free from such descriptions. His activities was protecting dharma, implying justice, protection of good. He was exponent of Gita, and Gita is example of principles laid down in Gita. His life itself was the example. So this is all scientific. Let me take a verse from Gita to make it understood how scientific things are. Sri Krishna was telling Arjuna in the war field that I was born earlier and I had taught these spiritual things to other people earlier. So Arjuna says, it is so scientific, so dashing and so open that even the disciple can ask questions to the Guru without any fear. So Arjuna immediately asks the question, Aparang bhavato janma parang janma vivasvata katham tad bijanyang tamadam praptavaniti. See, friend, you were born only yesterday, and those people you are mentioning, they are born thousands and thousands of years back. So how do I know that you told them these things? So he was challenging Sri Krishna. Now, Sri Krishna's reply was, Bahunu me betitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tannahang veda sarvani nathang vetha purantav. See, Arjuna, myself and you have passed so many past lives. I remember all those, but you do not remember. So this way, open discussion, open questioning, then explanation by the Guru. This was the motives with Avatar. And it is fully scientific. Let me take an example from Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. In Sri Ramakrishna's life, supernatural things hardly happened. Everything was normal, natural. In some cases, the prowess of God came into him and he did something, but these are all recorded in history, not something just fabulous. So I am taking an instance from Kathamrita, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, to exemplify my point. He says, how to attain God and what are the hindrances in getting God. 2 lines I am reading. কি জানো একটু কামনা থাকলে ভগবানকে পাওয়া যায় না. He says, even if you have a little desire, you will not get God. ধর্মের সূক্ষ্ম গতি, the path of religion is razor like sharp. চুচে সুতা পরাচ্ছ কিন্তু সুতার ভিতরে একটু আঁশ থাকলে চুচের ভিতর প্রবেশ করবে না. You are putting a thread in the eye of a needle, but if there are loose fibers in the thread, it will not go inside the needle. Similarly, if you have even a slight deviation in your mind, then you will not attain God. The sixth motif, Avatara shows the way for the current era. He comes and sets the examples which is applicable, valid and required for that era. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna says, Yad yadacharati seshchas tattat deve taro janha sajat pramanam kurute lukastadanuvartate. What does it mean? A great man, he did not say here avatar, he says, whatever a great man does, in whatever way he passes his life, those are followed by the rest of the common people. And whatever he establishes, pramanam kurute means establishes, whatever that great man establishes, people follow that. So avatar comes and he passes his life through the life and the ideas that he spreads, his activities, they become the example for the people to follow. Sri Ramchandra came and his main message was truth. For the truth he left to exile in the forest, and how to look after the subjects in a kingdom. So best king, what is the best king? Is Ramarajya. Best kingdom is Ramarajya. Then Sri Krishna came, he set the principles of Gita, and rest of the 1,000 years India followed those principles. Then came Sri Chaitanya about 500 years back. He laid down the path of bhakti. Chant the name of God, make kirtan, and forget world gradually, and you attain God. And for next 500 years almost, people followed that in Bengal and other some parts of India. Now came Sri Ramakrishna. His life was, as we mentioned, embodiment of renunciation. And he was a God intoxicated man. So he has shown the path that world is not your actual abode. The actual abode is the abode of God. How to reach there, how to attain God? You have to become pure in mind, you have to become pure in activity, you have to be devotional, you have to have earning. If you have the yearning, then you can attain God. So those are the paths set by Sri Ramakrishna, and this present world, not only India, his ideas are spreading over the whole world, and the whole world will be now following his paths. Thank you, this much for today. If you like the video, please subscribe and share it, and you can put your comments how to improve this presentation or anything that comes in your mind. Thank you.